If both the Samsung S95B and the Alpha 95 King from Sony were the same exact price, which TV would be the best choice? That's a question that Kieran Green asked me 3 days ago on my video where I was giving I'll say the honest truth in my opinion about the S95B. I had Lady Hera featured onto my channel and she gave her opinion, as that was a panel I purchased for her to utilize. So I am eagerly wanting to answer this question, and I have been for a couple of days since I've seen it. It's just that I needed a little bit of time to, gather myself, gather my thoughts. So we're going to be answering some questions for you guys tonight. Well, I'm responding to comments. That's kind of what we do. It is Monday. I do appreciate the support. Hopefully you guys are doing good. I definitely am doing good. But to get to Mr. Green's question, once again, if the A95K from Sony and the S95B from Samsung were the same exact price, he's asking me, essentially, is the Sony the better TV? He did also specify that he does not play games. He just watches sports, movies, and TV. So absolutely, the Alpha 95K is the absolute better TV if they are the same cost. I would find it incredibly hard to believe that anybody would buy the S95B if it cost the exact same price point as the Alpha 95 King. Even the most avid gamers, I would really doubt it. Like the TV, and when I say the TV, I'm speaking about the Sony. It plays video games so darn well. Nobody that uses the Samsung S95B as a gaming TV can honestly tell me that there's an experience so fluid, unless there's a very small few people that would utilize that TV for its 144 hertz refresh rate overclocking capabilities, that they would prefer that TV. There is no drastic change in input latency on any scale of resolution, from quality of build to functionality, technology integrated, operating system. The A95K is the superior TV out of the two. It's not even a question. In fact, most people, I go as far as to saying about 90% of people that would argue Samsung S95B as being the better of the two will do so from a price perspective. But when you don't factor in cost, and when I say don't factor in cost, I mean if you calculated, your purchase on buying one TV over the next, you won't concern yourself with cost. If you just know that you want the better of the two, then that's the one you'll get. Again, I have them both in my bedroom situation. The A95K is right now been the most regular TV that I've watched. So Mr. Green, I appreciate your comment, brother. On to the next one. Mr. Colin Dykes commented on my 12,000 hours image retention screen burn. If you guys haven't seen that video, please check it out. I did 12,000 hours, then we did 13,000 hours, and then more recently I made 2 videos going over the logistics behind me getting that TV junked out, right, to have it essentially repaired or replaced. And it was replaced pretty much with me getting a form of store credit, and I also still got to keep that TV. So now that TV is in like a playroom that I have for my children's. I digress. His comment reads, my B7, my 48 class CX, my 48 class C1, and now my 83 class C1. You've got a brilliant collection of televisions. He said, unfortunately, they don't show the power on hours. He said, I should receive a service remote today that will let me check that, as well as confirm that my C3, and the comment goes on to read a little bit more, has the new EX panel as the full serial number suggests. There's a lot more depth within this comment. If you guys are interested in seeing the full comment, I want to kind of watch the talk time that I have on some of these comments. But I'm not sure why your CX, well, you said 48 inch CX. I don't recall them making that in 48, but I could be wrong. I have that TV in 65, so I'm not telling you that that's not a thing. That is pretty awesome if they made that TV in 48. I probably would have ended up keeping that TV. I sold my 65 and utilized the C9 because I had liked the C9 so much. But I'm not sure why your C1 is not showing it in 48. The beginning of this year, February to be specific, I bought two 48-inch C1s. I did sell them. Got a really good price point to help somebody out. It's what I sold them for, because I was getting the two 55-inch C2s. But I was able to check my time on the C1s. I've never owned a C1 in the 83. I wish I did. I have it in 77, but I can't see that it would be any different. Again, I don't know. Hopefully when you get that service remote, you can check everything that you need to see. But you know, he left some settings and things of that sort. So I really do appreciate your comment. Again, great collection. I did have the B series also. I've been here since the beginning, man. So I've had them all. And I'll continue to, you know, purchase the qd-oled TVs. Thanks for the comment, brother. This comment is left by a person named Kenny Brooks. His comment said, "Are you confident that you'll go to heaven when you take your last breath?" You know, I try to stay away from this type of stuff on YouTube, honestly. And I do think that I hid this guy. I don't know if it blocks him from my channel, but he said something to me and then I said something back, and this was kind of where we were going, and it was just going down a rabbit hole. I think he actually said something along the lines of the A80J or the A80K or something. One of those two TVs was like hands down the better TV. And I think it was in regards to like the C2 or something. And I told him it was a lie. And then for me saying it was a lie, he left this comment. Am I confident that I'll go to heaven when I take my last breath? I don't know where the hell I'm going. Honestly, I don't. I know when I'm here, while I'm here, I'm balling. I'm gonna keep on balling, and I'm gonna keep on taking care of my kids. I'm gonna keep loving my daughters. I'm gonna keep showing my sons, you know, what I am. I'm a man. I'm gonna keep showing them what a king is supposed to do. You know, I'm gonna keep loving my people. You know what I'm saying, and being a representative of my people. And I'm gonna keep studying my craft. That's all I'm gonna do. So whenever I get a comment like this, it's not even something I like addressing. Like, I don't even know where this is coming from, where this energy is coming from. And I've done such a good job of being numb to the internet. I don't know. I just happened to seen it and figured, like, you know, I would put it out here. But as I'm mentioning and talking about it, I do recall, like I said, he said that the A80K, I can't remember if he said the 80K or the 80J was hands down a better TV than like the C2. And I'm like, hell nah, man. To me, the C2 is a better TV overall than everything else that's out there. It's my favorite TV. It's the TV I'm in front of now, right? So if it's the TV that I use as a main gaming TV, then it's the best TV, in my opinion. Like, I'm telling you, like, so you guys got to understand, you know, I play with these TVs and these panels at a different capacity than pretty much anybody that's on here that I've seen on YouTube. I don't buy anything for the purpose of just trying to show off or review. I come from a place of, like, I'm buying because I know that that's going to be what I'm going to use and utilize to entertain myself. And so I don't push people to my opinion, but yeah. So I don't know what that's about, but I don't know. We're going to keep it moving. Okay. YouTuber named L left a comment 4 days ago, and this was on the A95K quantum dot. What is it really like gaming video? And he said, what TV do you recommend for Nintendo Switch, PS3, PS4, PS5, gaming, and for watching DVDs, Blu-rays, and high dynamic range movies? Which one would you pick between the G2 and the A95K? Big thanks in advance. I would definitely pick the G2. If, you know, in the previous transition, I just said that the C2 was my personal favorite TV. The G2 is obviously the better of the two. There's nothing that the C2 would have that the G2 wouldn't have that's better, unless it came down to uniformity and consistency of a panel and a specific size, right? You know, the biggest thing for the G2 for me, and ironically, I'm using my C2 in orientation in which I have it mounted. But I'm gonna say this, and I've always said this. The reasons that I don't go with the gallery TVs from LG are specifically because they come out second. Like, they make the C line more available prior. Like, it's like a month and a half, 2 months, you know, of widespread availability where you can get the C series before you can the G. And then number two, like, from a bigger perspective, I don't really like to mount my TVs, which I mentioned in my video yesterday where I was mounting the A95K onto the Sanus table mount, right? A configuration like that makes it best for my lifestyle, because I know me personally, I'm not going to want to like mount something on a wall and just have it on a wall. I'm going to want to put it here and then put it there and then put it there. So the G2 is really obnoxious from that perspective. Now, I personally feel like it's cool that it give you like the flush mount, but you know, you just being stuck in a position where you can only mount it is just like, it sucks. I think that it really should start increasing the price of that TV by, let's say, $100, and just throwing the base in there, man. Like, really put the base in there, so that we're not stuck to that. I really like, I want to get a gallery TV like on launch, but the C models are so darn good from the C9 on up to now, where it's just like, it's good enough. And then using it in the capacity that I am with gaming, I don't know, but I would definitely go with the G2 over the A95K. Like, with gaming being a 50-50, if it's like movies and any kind of and, automatically like erases the Sony. It puts the G2 as like the better, right? I use the Alpha 95K as my bedroom TV. It's not a gaming TV at all. It's strictly a movie, television watching TV, and it's the best out here for that. So thanks for the comment, L. Okay, so Valentine George wrote, in my region, the Sony A90J from last year is almost half the price of the Alpha 95K of this year. He says, I haven't seen both TVs physically. I've only seen them online, and I'm inclined to buy the A90J, as I suspect that the difference between them is not worth paying double. What do you think? I definitely don't think they're worth paying double unless you know that you want to adopt into the newer technology. At that juncture, to be honest with you, as an owner of A90J and 55 class last year, I would put the S95B into the equation there too. Because half is $2,000. Okay. The A95K is $4,000. So that means the A90J is $2,000. The S95B is only $100 to $200 more. And that's on sale. Retail, it would be $1,000 more, but it doesn't sell for $3,000 anywhere. They're comfortable with keeping that TV discounted to move those units, which I appreciate. So I would definitely throw the S95B into the equation of your TV watching, because it's going to give you optimal everything. The A90J is not a gaming TV. It's not. It's a brilliant, still top 8 best TVs you can look at, from the level of peak brightness to the out of the box calibration to what you can dial it into to take it to another level. And it is good enough for gaming. Like, you can have an enjoyable experience. But for me, I'm like upper echelon. If I'm going to really say that it's good for gaming, like the A95K is really good for gaming. Like, it's a really good for gaming TV. The A80K, like, they've made some strides in a positive direction for 2022 for the gaming side. But, you know, it kind of is what it is. So to you, sir, I would definitely encourage the S95B as an opportunity. Spend a couple $100 more and you get a really much better TV. So I got a really good comment by a subscriber or a viewer named Sawdust, and it's really lengthy. I don't know if I'm gonna catch it all, but he starts by saying, I've had a 55-inch Sony X900H for the past couple of years. That was a great TV, amazing TV actually. He said it looks good with deep blacks for non-OLED and great high dynamic range, input lag, and picture quality. The input lag is where I can't really agree, but again, like my personal preference in feeling about input lag is it's a lot different, guys, than a lot of other people. Like, seriously, like, it's not the same. When I have this conversation with people, what's acceptable to some are not acceptable to others. And I think that says enough. But if it's good for you, that's great. His comment continues saying, however, it does have some issues that can bug sometimes. He said, like when using variable refresh rate disables the TV's local dimming, or a slightly barely noticeable blur when receiving a 4K at 120 hertz signal. He said 90% of the time it looks great, but falls a bit short in certain scenarios. He says that I definitely have my eye on the LG OLEDs, but I'm not sure if it's worth the price for the upgrade yet. He said, I know OLEDs are pretty much the best of the best in almost every area, and the LG OLEDs are the best for gaming. They are absolutely 100% without a doubt the best for gaming. He said, but I always have the small worry in the back of my mind about possible burn-in. He said, I know that it happens far less these days. He said, but if I spend over $1,000 on a TV, I want the TV to last many years. And with OLEDs, I'm not just sure. I'm not just sure. He said, oh, well, it probably will still be a while before I upgrade. So thank you, Sawdust, for that comment. I am going to respond to this thing in all of its entirety. So let me just start by saying this. And I've already said this in earlier transitions in this video. You know, my experience with OLED TVs started from, you know, pretty much the 4K space infancy, right? The EF9500, the EG9600, those were the first. The EG9600 was first, and then the EF9500 was second, right? So curved panel, high dynamic range only through streaming platforms. And then the first flat 4K OLED was the EF9500. That offered you the first option of having high dynamic range through an HDMI port, right? And then they've continued to just get better and better and better. Those TVs were absolutely atrocious. I mean, talking about for the first like 3-4 generations of 4K, I would say 3 generations of 4K OLEDs were just not playable, in my opinion, for gaming. They just were not. Even in gaming mode, it was just really bad, right? And you had no way to obviously take advantage of a higher frequency through HDMI beyond 60 hertz organically, because there was no HDMI 2.1. That being said, I felt like the OLED TVs were always the better options for like watching movies, right? And this is why I was always so enthusiastic with buying like upper echelon monitors, because I'm a gamer. And so when I want to play a fighting game or a game and it looked the best and performed the best, that's what's important to me. I am more about performance than I am about like, you know, picture quality. I can deal with like, you know, so some blooming and some haloing if it means that my stuff is going to perform well. This is why I also love the G8 monitor, the Neo G8. I do have that. We're going to be making more content around that monitor. If you haven't seen that out, maybe I'll card it in. You can check that out. Certainly, I've done a couple of videos on it, but I digress. Back to my point. OLEDs have always been phenomenal for picture quality. And before you start getting or hearing about quantum dot OLEDs, the white OLEDs were always the way to go. And that was always an LG thing until Sony came into the mix. So just throwing that picture processor into the mix just obviously is a winning combination. Now, you're concerned about LG OLEDs. I'm just going to say them in specific should not really be a big thing, right? And the reason that I'm going to tell you that is because they have a lot of technology implemented into the televisions that can save you from having the potential image retention or screen burn that you obviously are concerned about, right? I even was responding to someone earlier on one of my short videos that I posted where I was showing that when I turned the TV on, it was telling me to do pretty much the pixel refresh, this TV to be specific. And I absolutely don't do that. The reasoning that I don't do it is not ignorance. It's exactly what I explained in the prior videos where I was showing you guys that I just had the C9 from 2019 junked out. I personally believe I buy a TV not to put maintenance on that TV. I buy the TV, I buy a warranty. If I'm going to spend thousands, I'll spend a couple of hundred to get me a quality warranty so that I can just enjoy my TV maintenance free. Like, I don't want to shift around images. Guys, just think about it like this. If you're playing a game and if your television, even in the slightest, is shifting the image around and moving it, then you're not getting optimal performance out of the actual game, right? I don't want to deal with that. I want to deal with my TV just looking the way that it looks. And if it breaks down, I want a company to fix it. So this is why I really tell you guys, get a warranty. If you're concerned about things like image retention, get you a warranty. If you're going to buy you a fast car, right, and you know that you're going to get that car to race it, you're going to be pushing that engine, pushing that transmission, get you a warranty so that, guess what, if you want to take it to the track and you blow the engine or blow the transmission, whatever the fine inner parts that are working in that engine or those parts, you have a warranty that can back you up. So really, it's just all about logic and being just smart about whatever your decision is, right? So I do appreciate your comment, my man. All right, guys, so this is going to wrap up tonight's comment video. It's been a couple of weeks. I really did need some time to try to reset myself. But I do appreciate all the new subscribers. I do appreciate everybody that has, you know, been coming to leave some feedback. I do a lot of content beyond just TV stuff. This is all about TKK. So really, it's just a glimpse of my life and a little bit of everything. And so as you can see behind me, I'm kind of in my chill area, my arcade, if you will. And, you know, I like a lot of this stuff. I'm a gamer at heart. So when I do speak about televisions and display, understand that I'm going to be looking at a different type of metric that a lot of people won't. I do have a lag tester, things like that, because it's important for me to know exactly what my displays can do. I do a lot of research, and I'm always going to be here for you guys. If you have questions and you want my perspective and my opinion, hey man, definitely ask. I'm going to give you the most humble and honest that I can. It's unbiased. I have no links or anything. I'm not trying to sell you anything. For me, it's really just all about engaging into the community. So I do appreciate you. And these comment videos are really for you guys. So continue to leave more comments. Leave as many as you want down below. It's a possibility that I'll get to the point where I'll only read comments from comment videos. But like the dude with the Jesus talk, I mean, sometimes you just you read some weird things, and sometimes it's worth just getting a little bit of comic relief to put it out. But anyway, I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. Peace. God bless. Max love.